I've had kind of a rough weekend. Saturday morning I had to send my mother to the ER, the local hospital. I had to call an ambulance, get her here taken care of. For medical problems that she's going to be fine. She's recovering. She's fine. But if you know me personally or you've seen some of my past kind of vlog videos about me, you probably have an idea that events like this of having to call an ambulance and send a loved one to the hospital for however long they're going to be there isn't something that I'm a stranger to. Between my dad and all of his medical problems to my grandmother and now having to do it for my mother, it's something that I'm used to doing. It's also something that is really hard to deal with, and I still find it hard to deal with. Usually when it happens, one of two things happens. I usually just go numb, and I try to distract myself from it, and I just try not to feel anything so that I can be strong and do what needs to be done. Or I don't go numb, which is apparently what you're supposed to do, because you're supposed to let yourself feel these things, which I think is stupid, but it's an emotionally healthy thing to do, to not shut yourself off. Or I don't become numb, and I get angry, I get upset. I remember all of the times I've had to do it before with my dad, with my grandmother, and it upsets me, and it basically pushes me into this angry, fueled depression. I don't know how to explain it. But that's basically what happened this time, is I didn't shut myself off from it, and pretty much the entire time I was there Saturday, which was most of the day with my mom until they had her settled, had her in a room, that I came home, I was angry. Not because my mother was receiving poor care or because we had issues with that. I was angry about all the other times it's happened and how much my family has had to go through this over and over and over. And I was angry about how this kind of all began. In 2008, my dad had a massive heart attack. In 2010, he had a stroke, a massive stroke. He's had plenty of problems, but for the longest time, I blamed my parents and their stubbornness on my father's decreasing health. I don't know that I've told anyone this before. I may have, but I know it's not something I've talked about a lot. I definitely haven't told my mom. I never told my dad. Mom, if you're watching this, for the longest time I blamed you, and it's only recently that I realized that I shouldn't have, and for that I am so sorry for putting that blame on you, because it's not your fault, it's not Dad's fault. My parents didn't weren't stubborn or wait to go to the hospital when my dad was sick because of they're being stubborn and old and, oh, you know, don't worry about it, just put some Windex on it, it'll be fine. I realized this, that the reason they waited to go to the hospital, the reason that my dad's heart attack was ignored and became a massive heart attack, and the reason that my dad's stroke was ignored and became a massive stroke, was because they were afraid to go to the hospital to incur more medical bills. My family has never been rich. We've survived, but it's been a constant struggle. We're definitely, we're better off than I know there are a lot of other families who aren't as well off as we are, and I feel for them, but my family hasn't ever been well off. We've struggled. We've had to, you know, pull things together and hold them together. But with my dad having the heart attack and then the stroke, and it seemed every other week he was going to the hospital in the middle of the night by an ambulance because something was wrong, and just medical bills and debts just kept piling on, so they were afraid of incurring more debt from medical bills. And because my parents were afraid to seek professional medical help, help that can save people's lives, because they were afraid of the cost and of the debt, is a huge fucking problem. There are a couple memes that come to mind when I'm talking about this. Two of them, both about Breaking Bad. One is, it's a meme it's a meme that shows the scene where Walter White is told he has cancer, and the title of the meme is "If Breaking Bad happened in Sweden or in Canada or in one of the countries that has free or at least affordable health care than America does." And the meme just goes, the doctor tells him, "Mr. White, you have lung cancer. Treatment starts on Monday," and that's the end. That's the end of Breaking Bad. There would be no Breaking Bad. That was the end. He gets treatment. And then there's another one that is kind of that kind of elaborates on that. That there's a show, and it says something along the lines of, there's a popular American television show called Breaking Bad, that the story is about a high school chemistry teacher who resorts to cooking and selling meth to be able to pay for medical bills. Now, yes, that's an extremely simplified version of the plot of Breaking Bad, where, you know, that's part of it, but it was also because of Walter White's pride that he did all this, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Basically, what these memes say, and what they say to me, is that there's a huge problem with the way this country treats medical care and health care as opposed to how other countries have done it, and probably how it should be done. I mean, I'm just repeating myself. My parents were trying to avoid more debt, so they put off seeking life-saving treatments from hospitals. I mean, that's a problem. And my family can't be the only one who has gone through things like this. I can't be the only person who has experienced things like this. There has to be other people who have experienced things like this. And I feel that the people who are in charge of this nation and in charge of those who regulate health care and health insurance, they have failed this country, and they have failed the people, the citizens of this country that they are supposed to be protecting, that they are supposed to be looking out for. They've failed them. That people are afraid to seek help because they can't afford it. My family can't be the only one like that. It can't be. I can't believe that we're the only one to have that feeling. I don't know the exact details of how other countries do it or how Canada treats its healthcare, but I know that it's in some measures free, or at least much more affordable. And I don't know the details, but it seems better than the way that the United States takes care of its medical treatment here. Something needs to change. There is a problem, and something needs to change. I mean, I don't know if free healthcare is the answer, if that'll fix all of the problems, but clearly it hasn't worked. Clearly the way that the U.S. has treated healthcare here has not worked. So something needs to change. I'm not a political person. I'm not a I'm not a political person. I'm not politically outspoken on a lot of things. I have my opinions, but I don't often express them in grand measures. Mostly just in small conversations with friends. Originally I was just going to make this a Facebook post. Just kind of venting, and I was like, no, actually I'm not. I'm going to make a video because I have a YouTube channel with 85 subscribers. I have an Instagram with over 100 followers, and it's very small, but I do have an online presence, and I feel this is something that I need to be said, and I feel this is something that people should hear. There's a problem. It needs to be fixed. I personally don't know how to fix it. I personally don't know how exactly healthcare is treated in these other countries who seem to have better healthcare and healthier people. I don't know, but I want to, because I don't just want to say this and then move on with my life, because this problem's not going to go away. this isn't the last time I'm gonna have to call an ambulance for my mother. She's getting older. Things are gonna eventually go wrong. This isn't the last time that it's gonna happen. This isn't the last time this issue is gonna come up. So I don't just want to say this and move on. I want something to be done. I want something to change. And I want to do whatever it is I can do to change that. And I want everyone else who believes in this and who feels this to do what they can to change things, even if it just means taking 10 minutes out of your day to go to a voting booth and elect someone who is trying to fix the problem. Even if it's just that. Do something. Something needs to change. I don't have a conclusion to this. I don't have an answer to this. I just think it needs to change, and I felt like this is something that I needed to say, and I feel like it's something that people need to hear. So please share this video, share this video so that anyone else out there who has similar experiences, who has similar feelings about this, hell, who could change something, share it so that they can listen and hear this and join the conversation, because there needs to be a conversation about this. This is something that needs to be talked about. Most of my videos are about geeky and nerdy topics about pop culture that are important to me and that I love talking about. But this is something that needs to be important to everyone. This is something that needs to be talked about. There needs to be a conversation about this. So please, please share this video so that others can hear this and join in the conversation. Please do what you can, whatever you can, to help fix this problem. Because the way the United States has treated healthcare in this country needs to change. Thank you for watching.